So, welcome to Dauntless Discussion, episode 13, and I think we're just going to title this episode "Dauntless in 2025: What to Expect," because we're in a whole new year. I think it's been a very tricky year to say the least. Dauntless had uh, basically a blackout in terms of new content right through the year, and then we waited so long for this Dauntless Awakening update, only for it to be met with controversy, critical opinions, and review bombing. There's many positive aspects, there's many positive opinions out there, but I think the negative opinions and all of that outweigh the positives. But we're moving into the new year, and there's things on the horizon. There's going to be a lot to talk about. So today, I'm really glad to welcome back Eyes Fluffy.
Hey guys, good to be back here. Been waiting for this again,
Yeah,
and thank you for having me.
no, perfect. I mean, we've had you on before, but you just want to give me a tiny little introduction, just to your channel and what you do.
Oh yeah. Like he said, my channel name is Ice Fluffy. I go by Stallion as well. That's the name that most people know me by, especially on Discord.
Hmm.
I have been playing Dauntless mostly since its alpha state, so I'm kind of like really old. I'm also feeling old, like in age as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
but yeah, I'm glad I, have the chance to work with Dragon Lord and other content creators for Dauntless as well. So
Nice.
yeah, thank you again for having me.
Sweet. It's great to have you back. We had a great chat a good few episodes ago, and then we were going to have you back for the last one a week or two ago as well. But I think we got
Yeah.
our timing a little bit mixed up, and then it turns out we were recording podcasts at the exact same time, which we'll need to try and avoid in future.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Eyes Fluffy, as I say, Dauntless content, build news. He's got his own podcast as well, so please get over to the channel, go and support him as much as you can. His opinions and his knowledge and experience of Dauntless, in many ways, far outweighs my own. So get over there and get subscribing, please. Thank you. All right, so today we're briefly going to talk about the Dauntless Awakening update. We've talked about it in a great amount of detail on the last episode and update videos and all that kind of stuff. I'm currently working on a video where I am putting together my research that I've gathered from I think about 17 to 18, 17 or 18 YouTubers and their opinions on Dauntless in
Yep.
terms of the criticism. I've put together all the Steam reviews and all the stats in terms of the concurrent player base, and it makes for some concerning reading. So essentially with that video, my goal is to compile a list of all the issues raised and what I think the developers need to do to ensure a future for
Mhm.
Dauntless. And I think it's very important that they take that kind of constructive criticism on board. So we're going to briefly talk about the Dauntless Awakening update, just how we're finding it just now, and then we're going to move on to the Frostfall event. Obviously, that's just ended. What we thought of that, what we think will come with future events, and we'll talk about builds briefly. And to finalise this episode, we're just going to talk about upcoming content. Obviously, there's legend hunts on the horizon, and as Fluffy's talked about a new Radiant Sword, I think it was. Was that right? Yeah.
Yep. New Radiant Sword and the
Yeah.
new Behemoth that's gonna be coming soon.
Yeah. So that'll be a great chance to to finish on the episode with that. So, first things first. As Fluffy, how are you finding things just now? Now that it's been about a month, almost a month since Awakening launched.
Yep. Yep. Like even before the update launched, we kind of did tell the devs that it was gonna be like a really bad release
Hmm.
because we were all sitting in the beta server because they had like a different like server for like the beta testers and
Yeah.
stuff. And so we were given the feedback back, and then they say, okay, we're gonna release the update real soon. And then some of us got together and we pretty much told them, hey, you can't really release this yet. It's not gonna be good. It's a no go,
So they were
right?
warned.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but because they had that deadline that they had to meet,
Mm.
because of Forte and all the stuff going on, they kind of had to release it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And they've been delayed.
So
They'd already been delayed twice
yeah,
as well, so it had to come out.
oh
You
yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah. People were getting anxious. People wanted everything to be out already.
Yeah.
but it was met poorly. It was to be expected. It was met poorly. If you've seen the Steam reviews, Steam is like a landmine right now.
It's pretty
If you
bad.
navigate those reviews.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think I've seen this before. So it's not like it's gonna be over anytime soon. Uh, it happened with like Destiny. It happened with games like Anthem, where games had like massive overhauls and stuff like that.
No Man's Sky.
Some of them get ruined. Yep. Yep. Some of them get ruined by the overhauls, but some of them do survive eventually. It just takes time for the update to get the game back to its feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you just
Yeah.
hope that they have the capabilities to do that. As I said, to put that into perspective, you're talking about Steam reviews. Currently on Steam, there's just over 200 positive reviews. That's great, eh? Not when you
Yep.
consider that there's 1,250 negative reviews, which ranks it as
Definitely.
overwhelmingly negative. So the game's been review bombed. And Mr. Trail is one of my favourite Dauntless YouTubers. Obviously, he left Dauntless for a while. His opinion is that it's not a very positive update at all, and he's
Yeah.
essentially done with the game by the looks of it as well. There's other Dauntless content creators, big channels, who have talked negatively of Dauntless from the very start, and have always moaned and have had issues with things. But he's always been fairly consistent with his positivity, and to know that he has now changed his opinion on the game, I think that's a huge selling point for so many potential players and so many original players as well, which is a shame. Yeah.
And I think like part of the problem is the monetization issues right now because Dauntless had monetization in the past, with the store and stuff, and that's fine. But the way that they're doing it now is like super greedy.
Oh,
It's like, man,
it's
just
really
like
bad.
no,
Yeah.
you know. Like one if you saw the store one peerless etherite, that was like $10 already over here. I'm not sure what is $10 over there for you.
About £7 to £8, roughly around about that.
Oh
So,
man, yeah.
yeah,
So just $10 for one peerless etherite, that's not acceptable.
it's really not. I've
Yeah.
I've kind of listed for this new video that I'm working on. I've listed the positives and the
Mhm.
negatives. I'm not really going to be talking about the positives. I'm more highlighting the constructive criticism. And the positives that I've
Yep.
found from this update is I like the new hunting ground island. I like the new behemoth. I like the fauna. I like the Frostfall event. I like that they added content to an event for the first time in like what 2.5 years or something.
Yep.
Enjoying that it's been on Steam despite the review bombs. I like that it's on Steam for the controller support. I like
Yeah.
the alluring moons, despite the fact that they've been temporarily locked behind the Elite Hunt Pass. And the
Oh
builds,
yeah.
I'm really enjoying some of the builds. You've shared some content
Mhm.
on that, and Swift and Deadly and Glitches shared a really good Summoners build, which I'm getting a lot of enjoyment from. So these are things
Yep.
I'm really enjoying. But in terms of issues, the removal of the older weapons, of course, I'm going to talk about this in my video, but imagine like World of Warcraft or RuneScape or Final Fantasy Online had a server wipe and all the veteran players
Oh
lost
man.
all of their. That would be on mainstream news. Like imagine that being on CNN, it would be that big a deal.
Yeah.
It would be.
Especially for World of Warcraft, since
Yeah,
World of Warcraft has been like out for the longest right now.
exactly. Imagine
Yeah.
the limited new weapons. I quite like some of the new weapons, but the way of obtaining new weapons, I think, is a little bit sleazy. So
Yep.
yeah, I have to say it. Weapon tokens are extremely expensive, and I just don't believe that the way to get new weapons is to go into the store. I think yeah, if they're done with the gathering parts and slaying behemoths for parts for
Yep.
weapons, at least put them into quests, make it immersive. Putting it in a store just I don't like it. There's changes to sales. They haven't bothered me too much, but that's caused a bit of frustration. And the hunt passes been lackluster. The canister system. I think I did a test and I spent about 4,000
Yep.
platinum to get all aspects of the deep sea hunt pass, which it works out as about £30. And the performance issues, which you've run into huge issues with
Oh
crashing.
yeah.
I mean, bugs and they can
Yep.
patch out bugs. There's
Mhm.
always been bugs in Dauntless, but the crashing is insane. I don't.
Yep.
You need to elaborate on that because you've had huge issues with that, haven't you?
Yeah, so it's been happening on for months, and I haven't played Dauntless ever since I got on for the gift drop that you guys did.
Yeah.
And after that, I haven't been on Dauntless unless I am, getting on to recruit somebody to my guild.
Hmm.
That way I can send them the invite. But other than that, I can't really touch the game because I keep crashing. So,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to enjoy the game
And the
lately.
Frostfall event, I mean, we did that gift drop just after Christmas, and you lasted about 4 minutes before you disappeared off the
Oh yeah,
server, which was,
yeah,
a nightmare, honestly. Is there
yeah.
anything maybe you wanted to add in terms of the Awakening update that you've maybe liked or you haven't liked at this stage, Fluffy?
I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna be working towards getting another console. I'm gonna be buying an Xbox
Yeah,
Series X right now because that's better than whatever I have right now.
yeah,
But it's kind of like it's a bit shameful that we had to upgrade our own systems because they went to IE5.
yeah, yeah.
So a lot of people are mad about that right now as well because not a whole lot of people have money to
No.
actually upgrade to like a new system.
Mhm.
So aside from everything being gatekept and everything being like locked behind paywalls, now you have to buy a new console
Mhm. Aye, yeah.
just to keep up with the game. So that's just adds more to the frustration as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, my PC is getting a bit older, but I mean, I switched between the Elder Scrolls Online and I've been playing Medieval Dynasty, and they're both incredible, beautiful looking games. ESL less so, but you've got hundreds of people
Mhm.
in servers, and I'm getting about 90 frames per second with that. With Medieval Dynasty, I'm getting a solid 60. With Dauntless, I'm getting about 25. So it kind of shows you that there's obviously an issue in the engine, not
Yeah.
in the consoles. Um, so, yeah,
Like
it's.
honestly, I think they could have probably kept it with UE4.
Mhm.
I think the update could have still be good with UE4.
I agree. I mean, apart from some lighting changes and maybe some
Hmm.
upscale textures, I'm not really noticing a huge difference, to be honest. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like I don't think like Dauntless is heavily, required to have that much graphical upgrades, you know what I mean?
No, no, it's
It
certainly
doesn't
not.
look like the type of game for it, you know?
No, I know, because who really cares about when you've got that kind of art style?
Mhm.
It doesn't need insane textures. It doesn't need fancy lighting,
Mhm.
god rays, and things like that. You just need it to work so
Definitely.
you can slay behemoths. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, I can imagine you would have more to talk about on it if you could actually play the game. But it's like,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know,
can talk about it all day.
so you'd said before we went online, you'd said in the Discord server that there was
Mhm.
something you wanted to talk about. Is this in relation to the Awakening update?
Yes, actually.
Fire
I'm
away.
not sure if you want to talk about it right now, but it has to do with like the new weapon and stuff.
Oh right, oh
If you
so
want
the
to
weapon. Oh, that's
hear
perfect.
it.
Yeah, we can leave that
Yeah.
for the upcoming
Hmm.
content then. But it's fair to say, I have had. I don't know. You actually released a video on it. I've had a lot of interesting comments from the community, and especially my last podcast episode, which was my most disliked video I've ever released. And it was people basically just attacking not just the game or the devs, but me as a person as well,
Hmm.
because I had some positive comments to say. We all had some
Yep.
positive comments to say about the game. We were still critical of the issues, but I think that is an aspect that just I don't understand it. I don't know why people are doing that, and I know that you
Like.
released a video on that, talking about that.
Mhm.
So how you?
So I think people are getting the wrong idea because, like, okay, so we are defending the game,
Hmm.
but we're not defending the game for the reasons people are hating it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, like, for me, I'm defending the game because this is the game that I go to the most.
Hmm. Hmm.
So after like a long day of work, after like a very stressful day, this is the game that I go to like relieve my stress. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that's why I'm defending the game because I don't want to see it die.
No, me neither.
But at the same time, I get why people are mad.
Hmm.
I'm mad too. Like I said, I've been playing this game since the alpha stages, so I know the frustration.
Hmm.
People get everything that they had before now is gone. Things are gate kept. A lot of monetization in the game. I get the frustration. I spent over $10,000 on this game.
And 6 to seven
I
hundred
understand.
reforges in your hammer. I mean, gone.
Yes,
with a crown to show for it. You know, it's insane.
yes.
So
So, I understand that frustration, but like the thing that, people are attacking us content creators for is I don't think they see the points of view that we have, you know, for the actual game. Like somebody can say, oh, they love Dauntless, but then us, we really love Dauntless. So you know what I'm saying?
it's just
So it's like that.
it's true. It's looking at the bigger picture. I mean, there are positives, and I think some of the devs have probably poured their heart and soul into this update. You can see
Yeah,
some of the external factors probably coming from, is it Fort Labs, 40 Labs, or
yeah, 40
yeah.
left, yeah.
So you can see some of the like the canisters and
Hmm.
just a lot of the monetization issues. You can see that influence. However, it doesn't mean you attack people because they're enjoying aspects of it. You
Hmm.
don't you don't. I've seen like borderline death threats to developers over this update. It's
Oh,
absolutely
yeah, that's
ridiculous.
not good for
So
real.
yeah, I mean you can criticise, but I think you need to be constructive and you need to be
Hmm.
mature about it and do it in the right way. So that's just my thoughts on that.
And I think things are gonna get better though, because I was just talking to Brent. Brent is one of the developers.
Yeah.
He actually said that Forte was actually treating them fair,
Okay, that's good.
So Forte was actually like being fair to them and stuff. So we might actually see things change in the future for the better for now.
That's good. I mean,
But
because
yeah,
so many people are just accusing Forty Labs of all these dirty
mhm,
tactics and all this influence. However, they don't know the
yeah,
full story. So yeah.
yeah. But like, right now, all we know is that they do have those monetization practices that are nasty into practice. But as far as how they treat the devs, it seems like they're treating the devs good.
Well, that's the main thing, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the most important things, and
Hmm.
I'm glad to hear that. That's really good.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all I really have to talk about the Awakening update right now. You know, previously I've talked about a lot of the positives. We have criticised it. However, I am feeling that the negative is outweighing the positive currently. And
Definitely.
I'm hoping that they listen to the feedback and they start making the improvements. And
Yep.
it's going to take a lot. It's going to take regular communication. It's going to take content.
Hmm.
It's going to take repayment of what was taken away from previous players. And away with some of those dirty monetization options because it doesn't serve. It's not good. It's really not.
Yep.
So anyway, so
Like for
oh
me,
sorry,
sorry.
not a
Like
fire
for
away.
me, I would just prefer if they go back to like the way the regular store was.
I agree.
Not that much monetization. You can keep the canisters, but don't make it that freaking expensive. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Jesus.
And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, the hunt passes themselves. I mean, think about it. Older hunt passes,
Hmm.
we used to have like two armor sets, one for the free, one for the elite,
Yeah.
and then we had just transmog of every weapon, every your lantern, your
Hmm.
arrival, and you got an emote. Now you get the alluring moons, you get a transmog for the alluring moons, and you get a half a dozen canisters, which gives you about 20% of what you need to complete. You know that theme.
Yeah.
So it's not very good. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's that. So moving on from that, Frostfall, and I know that you've had issues with crashing, but what are your thoughts on the
Oh
Frostfall
man.
event? Because it's the first time we've actually had new content added to an event in Dauntless for
Yeah.
2.5 years, I think it is. I think I'm right with that. Maybe 3 years. It's round about that though. It's a long time.
So even through all those crashes, I was still able to enjoy the event.
Good.
I managed to buy all the sweaters, even through all the crashes. So I actually did get my crown, but it
Yeah,
took me forever.
it was a
Like
grind.
it
Yeah.
took me, yeah. The event with the cheerless Sherrod, I love that.
Right.
I
Okay.
hated the ice though. I hated the ice,
So
and
I thought it was a bug when I
yeah,
first logged into the
yeah,
because I didn't
and
read it
I was
properly.
talking. Yeah, and I was talking to Brent about it because Brent was working on the ice too, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm responsible for the ice," and I was like, "Brent, you're an asshole."
Yeah, you're right with that. It was so
Yeah.
annoying and so frustrating. I genuinely thought it was a bug because I hadn't read the description. I just jumped in, and then I thought, oh no, my
Hmm.
character's having an animation glitch. And I spent about 5 minutes thinking, what the heck is going on here before I realised what was actually happening. But yeah.
Yeah.
What about the new crown? Are
It is
you
fun
liking that?
though. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the new crown. It looks a little similar to the previous crown. A lot of people have actually commented on it. but you can clearly see the differences as well. So it's another crown added to my collection.
Yeah,
You know,
the silver sword.
yeah,
Is that the silver sword crown? You mean the one
yep,
from the Frost? Yeah, that's one of my favourite crowns.
yeah,
I like that crown. Similar in a way,
mhm,
but there's so much more going on. It's very unique.
yep,
I like it quite a lot. I have to say.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, I
And I
agree.
still have people asking me. I still have people asking me questions about the Frostfall crown. Like,
Mhm.
where you get that crown? Because the antlers,
Mhm.
the deer antlers. Yeah, people like. I don't think they can get that anymore
No, you
since we're moving
can't.
forward.
You can't, because I
Yeah.
actually noticed you had that when we were doing the gift drop, and
Mhm.
I thought, oh my, that
Yep.
was from years ago. I'd love to get that again. But no, there's no
Yep.
way to get that right now. So.
Yep.
I agree. I think the new content was great. I think the Cheerless Charog event for me, it was fine. I wasn't. I found it hilarious. I thought it was really funny seeing a Charog with a Santa hat on. I thought,
Yeah.
that's unique. I like that. But I don't know. I just found it a little bit tedious at times. But I'm not against it. It's new content. I'll take it. The sweaters. I really like the Cheerless Charog sweater. That's one of my favourite cosmetics in the game now.
That's
Um,
the first one I bought.
yeah, same. And the new crown, yeah, I'm a big fan of that as well. So yeah, it was good to see that for sure. So yeah,
And the event also gave us the first look at the legendary Sherrog.
that's true.
So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was challenging. Well, it looks like it's going to be challenging anyway. So that's
Hmm.
interesting. What about
Yep.
future events? So obviously the next one coming up is Valentine's Day, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, in February.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, hopefully they're going to be continuing with this theme with new content. Have you heard anything on that, or do you have any ideas for future
Um,
events?
they haven't said anything about the event yet,
Mhm.
probably because we're still early into January.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get new things because we already got a new crown for Frostfall, so we are definitely gonna get new cosmetics for it. I'm not sure if they're gonna bring back the old cosmetics
Mhm.
as well. If they do, it will probably be through either the store or some rumors,
Mhm.
maybe. Yeah,
I think we can imagine it'll be the store. I think it's probably
probably.
probably fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, pay 500 platinum for these old cosmetics. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. I mean, I've never bothered too much about that. I mean, I'll complete what I can for that event, but I'm really looking forward to obviously the Dark Harvest event
Yep.
next October, which feels like a lifetime away, but it's going to come pretty
Ooh,
quickly.
yeah.
It'll be really cool to see what they add to that. That's my favourite
Yep.
event. So
Hopefully, we got a new crown for that one as well.
yeah, that would be sweet. I mean,
Yep.
I like the unseen crown an awful lot. I think that
Hmm.
is my favourite crown. But to get another one would be pretty
Yep.
cool. So yeah.
Definitely.
So current awakening builds. That's the next thing I'd like to talk about. And it'd be interesting to see in I mean in the time that you've put into the game so far since the update, have you come up with, and I know you have you come up with any interesting builds with what we have to work with just now?
Oh, I did a lot. I
Yeah,
have a lot of builds on my
good.
channel right
Mhm.
now, and a lot of people are actually commenting that they really love my builds. They work for them as well, so it's pretty good. Right now, the meta, the meta is speed. That's all you need right now.
Yes.
Speed.
Hmm.
You can have attack and stuff like that. You can have like crits as well,
Yeah.
but the main focus is speed.
Yeah.
You need speed on your builds.
I've noticed that as
Yep.
well. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think the amount of people that are spamming those shock turrets. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
that's bricking my console.
yeah.
Honestly, it's just crashing my console. The amount of people that are spamming those, but the
Mhm.
damage that they're getting from them is absolutely ridiculous and quite impressive
Yeah.
actually.
I, I, I love the Sky Sebastia.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good. Yeah,
I
I
love
agree.
the Sky Sebastia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always find myself coming up with not taking inspiration from. I always go with support. I don't know why. I always go with support builds first because I like. I don't know. I find them really unique and interesting, and then I go into kind of high damage builds after. But
Mhm.
a summoner build, which I took inspiration from one of Glitch's builds that he'd posted on his channel, and I'm having so much enjoyment with that. Basically, because I'm not actually having to do very much, and basically, obviously, you're using those alluring moons to spawn in as many what are they called again? the raptors.
The dinosaurs,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Chaoxes.
Chaoxes, that's it. And then you're getting
Yeah.
extra Chaoxes through the weapons talents.
Mhm.
So you're getting about 5 Chaoxes. And then you're using the cells, which give you increased damage depending on how
Yep.
close you are to fauna. And it's just quite fun because I'm taking down behemoths without actually really having to touch them, which is quite funny. So,
Yep. Definitely.
yeah, quite enjoying
Yeah.
that.
There's a lot of people that don't like the Chaoxes. I mean, I kind of like them though because if I'm using like the Sky Sebastia or a hammer, if I hit the Chaoxes, I can basically get my ammo back.
That's true,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Just hitting other
so I kind
players'
of like it.
Chaoxes. Leave them
Yep.
alone.
Use them to your advantage.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the collision is frustrating a lot of people because they're getting in the way. They're filling the screen. I mean, there's times I've literally had about 15 Chaoxes attacking a behemoth at once. Not all from me,
Oh,
but from other players as well. If you're in a public hunting
especially
ground,
during Gauntlet.
yeah, for sure.
Yep,
The
crazy during
collisions.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, so I've heard. I've not actually done Gauntlet since the update launched, but
Yep.
the collision's ridiculous. They're meant to have actually patched that in getting rid of the collision, but I think they didn't
Yep.
achieve that with the last patch. But yeah, I can see why people would be frustrated with them for sure because they're everywhere. So
Yeah. At least they're not attacking us.
that's true.
That's this point. At least they know who their alpha is.
That's true. Danny T talked about in the last episode about the new fauna. Again, I forget the name. What is it? The
Oh, the wasp. Oh,
Yeah,
I
oh
hated the
my
wasp.
goodness. He said that was. He talked about the most powerful entity in all of Dauntless, and he now
Mm.
believes it's those freaking
Yep.
wasps because they're
It,
just so annoying.
yep.
Yeah.
It was like that during the beta. I actually told Brent that hey, they have way too much health, which they do. You know, they still do.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Well, they patched the Grok Rocks. I'm sure they'll patch the wasps. I'm sure.
Yep. Probably.
Remember, those Grok Rocks were brutal to begin with. The
I
damage they
know.
did. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, good.
Everything was increased.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm glad you're getting some enjoyments from these builds, and not just you, but I'm glad you're getting comments from people that are enjoying the builds as well, because that's why we do
Mhm.
this, isn't it? For that feedback and for those conversations. So I'm really
Yep.
glad to hear that. That's great. I think one of the things that is, I guess, frustrating me a little bit is the cells. I mean, I was actually kind of glad that they were going to make cells. They would be
Mhm.
destroyed when you remove them from armor. However, I'm finding it does limit. It does limit, I guess, the variety because, in a way, if you want to use an armor piece that's similar to one of your other builds, you have to
Yep. You
detach
have
and
to
then
keep
reattach
changing.
cells to keep the build
Yep.
going, or you don't get the benefits from it. Which,
I hate. I love the cell system. I
yeah,
like. I get what they're doing it, but at the same time, I hate it because this is one of the things that we also mentioned to them in the beta server.
yeah,
Because you know we already knew from the start that after you use one cell and you get rid of it, it was gonna be bad. We already knew from the start. But the thing is, like, if you try to change one cell on one loadout, it changes it on all of your loadouts, and that is
exactly.
that is a no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
seen
it's horrible.
I seen a YouTuber who posted a video. It was quite a popular video actually, and he talked about how Dauntless now only has one build, and it was a bit of an exaggeration, but in a way, it is kind of tedious having to attach cells every single time you want to change your builds.
Yep.
They need to look at that, I reckon.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, and I was talking to Brent about that as well as Kazakh, and you know they're working on it, so
Good.
hopefully we get a fix for it.
Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they're very busy behind the scenes. So I hope they are. Not too busy, but I hope there's a lot going on and feedback's been taken on board and things like that. But
Oh, yeah, right now they're on the Christmas break right now, but we'll
good,
probably get another update in a week or two.
good for them. Everyone
Yeah.
should have a Christmas break, so good for them. That's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that. Take their time. But yeah, the same. I mean, there's some frustrations with builds, but I am enjoying. I find myself using new weapons. I have never used the hammer, apart from to reforge it a few
Oh
times for
no,
that crown. I know that's blasphemy to
you
you,
have to.
but I'd never really used the hammer. I'd never really used the repeaters. And now those are the two weapons that
Hmm.
I guess you could say, are maining now. Those are the ones that I use now, which, good. I'm glad. I'm finally
Yep.
using some different weapons for a change, so, yeah.
Yep. One build that I found that I am really enjoying at the moment is the Netherlights and the Skies of Ostia.
Yeah.
really broken, really broken.
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it.
That's
But
good. So that's us with builds essentially. Upcoming content. Now this is the most interesting bit, I guess. I personally do not have any information. I don't have any knowledge of anything that's coming to do with Dauntless, purely because I've avoided Reddit, because I'm sick of looking at the same discussions and the same criticism
yeah,
over and over. I'm just tired of it, so I've kind of stayed off Reddit for that reason. So I've missed out on basically all the dev drops and all the
mhm.
dev leaks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of counting on you for this one, Fluffy. And hopefully
I got you.
you can enlighten me on what you've maybe discovered in your time on
Yep,
Reddit.
I have it saved. I have it saved to a folder here.
Fantastic.
So if you're ready, we can go over it. So
I'm ready. I'm
the
ready to
first
hear
thing
it.
I do want to talk about, the first thing I do want to talk about is the armor transmog that is coming. I talked about this on my last podcast, and that is the the hunger inspired transmogs,
Okay, okay.
the armor transmogs. I'm not sure. Have you seen it or
I don't think so.
here? I'll share them here on your chat real quick. Let me
Fine.
let me go ahead and post it for you. Yeah, because these things are actually pretty good. So let me put them in there so you can see them.
Thanks.
Yep. And that's what it's gonna be looking like. They're in the boys chat.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep, can you see it?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, so I'm looking back to the when we were
Yep.
talking about the bow and
The
arrow from
bow.
from
Yeah.
back in October. But oh yeah, that's look at
Yep.
that armor. That's pretty
Yep.
sweet. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna look really sick. I was telling Brent that hey, we don't have like the legs for
Uh huh.
it. He drew me a picture
Is
of the legs.
it top heavy? I imagine.
That's what it looks like.
that's
That's
the
what he drew me for the legs.
that's the final. That's the final product.
Yep.
That looks great. Someone needs to clip
Yeah.
that
So
together. That could be the thumbnail for this podcast.
yep, that's what the legs are gonna look like.
That's exceptional. That looks fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, legs aside, the armor looks
Hmm.
really cool. I love the eyeballs staring in from all direction, and the
Yep.
is that an axe? Is that what that is that an axe or is it a hammer?
Um, that we were actually discussing what it was gonna be. We came up with the conclusion that it's the back of a war pike.
That would make
That's
sense.
what.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what me and Owl came up with.
Mhm.
We're not really sure, however, but it does look like the back of a war pike.
I could see
So
that. I
I'm
could
gonna
see that.
share with you everything that I have here so that we can go along with it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You've done your homework and I haven't. I mean, apart
Yep.
from things we've already known about in the past, I have no new knowledge on any of this kind of stuff. So it's very helpful.
Yeah, that's no problem.
You see this
Yeah, I was
photo.
gonna use it on my next podcast, but we don't have enough information for me to do a podcast yet. So, if you see that video right there, that is the new Radiant Sword
Wow.
that we're gonna get.
I love the idle
So,
animation, or
mhm.
the sheathing and unsheathing animation for. It's the old style of Dauntless. It's like with the hunger. I really like that.
Yep,
It's just so much cooler. Nice. I like
yep.
that a lot. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good weapon. I'm hoping it might become meta. Who knows? Maybe.
Looks like
Uh,
Final Fantasy or Terra online kind
mhm.
of inspired, like enormously heavy. I quite like that look. It's cool.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Uh, Brent also let us know about the other legendary behemoths. Alira is not gonna use any glyphs anymore.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
so
that.
Alira won't need the glyphs. She can just like do the attacks herself.
Fair enough then. Okay.
Um, the next behemoth is gonna be Frost Element, pretty much.
Okay. That's when was the last time we had a frost behemoth?
Yep.
Was it Urska? It's got to be
Yeah, it
Urska, right?
was
Yeah,
Urska.
it's a long
Yeah.
time ago, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. Or I think it was Frostwolf. I can't remember.
You may be right. Yes,
Yeah,
one of my favourite
because they
armors.
made Frostwolf weapons. Yeah. and then they said that the next behemoth is gonna be as large as Carcanos as
Okay,
well.
that's good. So
Yep.
something
Hmm.
big would be interesting. Okay, very cool. Um,
Yep. And it's gonna be our first female behemoth as well. So there's
a
that.
bear. Do you think it'll be a see when Urska was being when they were spreading rumors about Urska way back in the day? I had
Yeah,
a feeling that it was going to be a bear, a polar bear, and I think I came
that
to
would be
that.
cool.
I think I came to that decision because Urska
Hmm.
was I think it was like a kind of Greek or like something like that for bear.
Yep.
There was something that linked it towards a bear, but I think it was a pure coincidence. But that would be pretty cool. Imagine a polar bear behemoth. That would be pretty cool.
That'll be great. We
Yeah.
can finally make the Coca-Cola bear memes.
We've waited so long. Now is the time.
Yes, I can finally make the memes if it was.
That'll kill the controversy. Everyone will be happy.
Yep.
Brilliant. That'd be cool.
Uh, Moving on, we also have Sabit is gonna be faster, and he's gonna get like a new move. That's the legendary Sabit as well.
All right.
He's gonna be getting a new move. Yeah.
Oh, so the legendary Savite. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's
Yep.
probably my favourite behemoth to fight is the Savite.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's probably the soundtrack and the animations and the ninja style combat that you have with it is my favourite. So any new additions to the Savite, I'd be very happy with. Very good.
Yep. And then, like I already mentioned, we're gonna be getting fixes for the loadouts soon. Brent said he cannot confirm yet, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be working on it soon.
What's that to fix? Sorry.
Wait, what was it?
Yeah, so fixes for the loadout. Did you say? Yeah.
Yeah, for the cells, where you like switch one cell
Oh
and it
yeah, yeah,
changes
yeah.
all your
All right, yeah,
loadout.
yeah. That's good news
Yeah.
then. Yeah, fantastic. That's good.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then I think they're gonna be releasing the legends in seasons. I hope not, because that will be boring.
I
But
think
it looks like that's the way that they. Oh, go ahead.
I could see them doing that. I mean, it
Mhm.
prolongs content, doesn't it? If they release it all at once, then that's
Yep.
it. It's over. They have to come up with something new. If it's something that they release little bit by bit,
Hmm.
piece by piece, then that keeps them going for the year, doesn't it? I could see them doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. Or at least like two at a time, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because one, I mean, one you're done, and you're probably gonna have
Yep.
to wait months until the next one. I'm assuming probably for each hunt pass,
Hmm.
so you're talking 3 months or something like that, 2 months. Yeah, it's a long
Because
time.
I can already hear the complaints. We had to wait more. Like, bro. I mean,
Yes,
yes, man.
take heed, Phoenix Labs. People are quite unhappy right now. Don't piss them off further.
Mhm.
Let's appease.
Exactly.
Let's get all that content out and focus on something new. That'd be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, like most of the hate was because they had all this time during, they had like 2 years of no content, and
Mm.
when the update released, it was like barren. So that's probably most of the hate.
Which fair enough. It,
Yeah.
it sounds like they've put so much time and effort into changing builds and weapons and monetization things that yeah, there's probably just wasn't enough time left for actual content apart from the new hunting ground and the new behemoth. So yeah.
Yep.
Aye.
And then we also have the new arrival that
Oh.
is Carcanos is inspired. Let me show it to you right here. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet or not,
Eh,
but that's what it looks like. It's really cool.
uh,
It
just taking its time loading. Oh yeah,
it looks awesome.
yeah, that's really awesome. That would
Yep.
do it for me. That would be perfect. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen the current deep sea canister
Mhm.
arrival? You seen that one? Which
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah.
just bubbles. It's just it's not that impressive.
Yep.
This would be really cool. I'd like that one. Yeah, big fan of that.
Yep. Yeah, I actually like used that arrival because I have it, and
Mm.
then somebody called me a sellout, and I was like, "How am I a sellout? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, I just bought it, man. Don't hate me."
I know. It's no matter what you do with this community, people will find something to complain about, which is unfortunate. But hey ho.
Yeah. And the last thing I have to share, we have like new path notes for the Slayer's path.
All right.
The
Okay.
case files. Case files seem to be for like obtaining like etherite and all that stuff. So I'm not really sure how that's gonna work, but it looks interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something. What does it say there? Unlock
Mm-hmm.
10 weapon tokens. So
Yep.
it looks like they're speeding up the XP system. Sorry, the weapon token system maybe
Yep.
through the Slayer's Path. So
Yep.
currently the only way to get weapon tokens is to buy them, or through the hunt pass, or
Mm-hmm.
through weekly
Yep.
challenges. So yeah, you're right. That would probably make us think that you're now going to be able to gather them through in-game content. Who would,
Yep.
maybe that would be a good
It's
idea.
probably like yeah, it's probably
Hmm.
like an increased chance of getting them.
Well,
So,
that's always a plus. Weapon tokens,
mhm.
in my opinion, I would get rid of them. But if they're gonna do something, then at least increase the chance of getting them for sure. So that's
Yep,
encouraging. That's good. Yeah.
definitely. Yep. Honestly, I don't like the whole idea of weapon tokens. I don't like how they actually had to like gatekeep the weapons.
Me neither.
That was just like wrong.
It's you know, I like the old way wasn't broken. I don't know why they wanted to fix it,
Hmm.
but if they were going to change it, it should be through rumors or quests. It shouldn't be go to the store and collect 10 weeks worth of weapon
Yeah, definitely.
tokens or buy it. They shouldn't be in the store. I think it should be through gameplay, through quests. The original way of doing it was perfect for me. I don't know about you,
Hmm.
but then they
Yeah,
did it through, like the God Hand and all the weapons of that nature. You completed those through rumors, so why couldn't they just continue with that? Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So
It
it's
was horrible.
yeah, that's it. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's actually given me some things to look for, especially those new boots. They're incredible.
Hmm.
The artist portrayal of the
Yeah.
new boots, those are just lovely. A lot of efforts went into
Yeah.
that picture, so that's very kind of them to share that with
Yeah.
you.
That's
Um,
Brent is the best artist.
yeah, clearly, I can see it. I can see it. That's well done, Brent. That's fantastic. Excellent. No, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing all that. As when I upload this podcast, I'll share the videos and the clips and the images as we're chatting, just so people can see exactly what it is we're talking about. But yeah, that's great. Thanks for sharing that with me. I really appreciate that. You've done your homework.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I think there's not really much else I'd kind of like to go over just now. We've talked about awakening and our current thoughts on it, and I can sense from you, and I'm feeling it myself. Usually, I am a bit more positive, but I'm feeling a bit drained just now. I'm feeling a bit kind of done in with Dauntless, and it's left a bad taste in my mouth. Not just the negatives, but the community reactions left a bad taste in my mouth as well. So I'm hoping that improves. Frostfall was a good start, and the patches and the rewards that the veteran players got with that. Did you get your Peerless Etherite eventually? Yeah,
Yeah, I got my 500.
yeah, that's good. And the new crown and the swears. These are nice additions. I'm enjoying the new builds, and I'm glad you're enjoying some of these new builds as well. That's for
Hmm.
sure. That's a really good positive. And the upcoming content. Thanks for sharing that. It looks like there's things on the horizon that should paint a brighter picture. Is it going to undo the damage? Who's to tell? Who knows? I really hope it does, but only time will tell.
In time, but not right now. In time.
Not right now, no. You never know,
Yeah.
though. It's going to take
Mhm.
years. It'll take a long time to kind of get things right, and hopefully they do
Yeah.
that. Hopefully they do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything
It
else?
definitely needs work.
Aye, for sure. Is there anything else you kind of want to talk about before we ended this chat?
Uh, Let me see. I mean, we pretty much talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. We talked about how we actually feel about Dauntless.
Yeah.
So,
And there's not been
uh,
any big announcements from the devs. There's not been any more blogs, or
yep.
there's not been any more statements regarding the
Mhm.
controversy. So Yeah, happy with that. Well, listen, thanks again, Ice Fluff, for joining the podcast for the second time. As I said,
Yeah, no problem.
I really, especially with that upcoming content. I've been staying off Reddit. I know I shouldn't. I'm the one that's hosting this podcast, but it's
Yep.
I found it daunting getting on Reddit just now and reading upcoming content and all the controversy that's come with it. So I appreciate you doing the homework and you going onto the front lines to do that. That was very helpful.
You're welcome.
And as always,
Yeah, man.
please go and check out Ice Fluffy's channel, his Dauntless content and his own podcast where he shares so much more information than clearly that I have because he's done the homework. Get over there, guys. Go and check it out and get subscribed, and I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Right, until next time. See you later.